The second part are sort of word problems where you want the left side and the right side to equal the same thing. So 77.4 says Lopez used a 5-iron, but it only covered 4/5 of the required distance. So that's how far he hit it. 4/5 of usually means time. D is distance. 4/5 of the required distance. If she hit the ball 112 yards, what was the required distance? Well, it also says she hit the ball 112 yards. She hit it 4/5 of the required distance, and she hit it at 112 yards. Those amounts are equal. And so now we just have to solve for D. And as I've said many times before, when there's a fraction in front of the D, you just multiply both sides by the number flipped over, the reciprocal, which makes D all by itself. And what you do to one side, you have to do to the other. So 112 times 5 over 4. Now 4 goes into 4 once, 4 goes into 112, 28. And so 28 times 5, her distance is 140 yards. Now one check, you know the distance had to be more than 112 because she hit it 4/5, which is less than 1. So it's a good check for your work. And 77.5, Mickabee guessed that the total was 30.24. So that's the guess right there, 30.24. That's not a times. But this was 7 point times the total. So the guess by Maccabee was 7.2 times the total. So these are two different equations that tell you the guess of the number. So 30.24 equals 7.2t. Now to get the t by itself, you divide both sides by C2, 7.2. I'm not going to write that over here. So 30.2 divided by 7.2. So you know your answer is around 4. Anyway, you do the bottom into the top, 70, and you move the decimal 1 here, you move the decimal 1 here, and you see your answer is 4.2. So the magic number is 4.2. Now the third problem is a little trickier because they tell you 3/4 of the tickets had been sold and there were 420 tickets left. That means 420 tickets weren't sold. So if 3/4 were sold, then what part were not sold? So you have to do a subtraction. That means 1/4, because 3/4 plus 1/4 is the total. So if 3/4 were sold, 1/4 were not sold, and 420 were not sold. So 1/4 of the total equals 420. And you just multiply both sides by 4 to get the total equals 420 times 4. So the total is 1,680. That's a tough problem. It's like if 3/4 is sold, 1/4 is not sold. If 2/5 is sold, 3/5 is not sold. It must equal 1. Good luck.